Dearest Diary, it's been quite an adventure so far since I left the tower. Today, I pulled a prank on my fellow companions and pretended to not see the tree that wasn't there before. I knew that there had been a moving tree the day before, but now we found the source, and it was an elf friend with a very interesting name. Just talking to trees all the time. I suppose it's good to have hobbies. So we make our way over to the tower that we are heading out to. There's several that we have to find. This is our first stop, and there's not much to do when we get there. The elven friend says an elven phrase. The door opens. Blackness. Also, I told my party members that my great repeating grandfather is named Nunya. Also, stop reading my diary. I know somebody's doing it. I will find you. You no good varmint.
Alright, so the elf had said his words, and you notice the sort of shimmering color over the open archway retreats back, and it's no longer shimmering, but inside is quite dark. It's in just a very, very, very dark space. Which did not... whatever. It's a very dark space.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a rock or something. Actually, how does this spell work? I'm going to find a rock or something. Do I need to roll for that?
No, there's plenty of rocks.
I find a rock.
Debris everywhere.
I'd like to cast the cantrip Light.
Okay. Fun thing to know now, by the way. I was not aware of this. Elves in Pathfinder 2e do not have dark vision.
Ha!
They just have low light vision.
So I'm the only one who can see in there. Goodness.
So yeah. So everybody else just sees this just inky blackness inside the building. It's kind of that darkest of dark you've seen. It's like almost as if the light outside can't even touch the interior of the tower itself.
But what about my rave rock?
It doesn't penetrate the doorway.
Oh.
So the doorway is just, there's no light that's able to pass through the doorway. So the elf looks at you all and says, which one of you wishes to go first?
I just step in.
I'm not going first this time. I learned my lesson with the scorpions.
It's about time.
So step through the doorway, then guy.
Make a big, curtsy move. Go right ahead, y'all.
Alright, so you step inside, and it's just pitch black.
I tell them that it's great in here.
And as you stand inside there, you kind of look around the room, and you turn back to tell them it's great in here. They can hear you can hear them outside. As you step in, light sources kick on in sconces on the side of the room.
Whoa.
Can we see that, or just him?
You will only see it when you step through the door.
Okay.
So the room lights up in a mixture of blues and reds and purples where the light mixes together. In this entryway, there are scattered dust of, looks like clothing that's just degraded into dust. There's books and there's little implements like little wands and different tools of the magical trades. But with the degradation of them having been in this space for so long, it's as if nothing can even touch it. So you look at these wands as a magic user and you realize that these wands are not usable in any way.
Well, doesn't matter. They're all right-handed.
So the elf will step in and kind of swing around the side of the doorway and just kind of around. This is not what I expected in here. They said it was a stuffy old tomb.
Theo steps through the door. Are y'all dead yet?
No, I'm still out here.
You can stay out there if you want. Let the trees eat you.
Nope, I'm coming in. He immediately steps in.
So now that you're all inside, you see like I said, the alternating red and blue lights. Stop it. You see the alternating red and blue lights. The room's full of dust, has this very faint smell of mold, and like that if you've ever been in like a long abandoned building that has this that certain funk to it.
Ew.
That old church smell.
Asbestos.
It almost looks like as well, wherever there's like bundles of clothing or books, it looks like people were just walking and then suddenly disintegrated. Like stuff just fell where it was, like everything froze in place, as if time itself hasn't even touched the inside of here. You notice though, the magical implements are heavily degraded, but the books look as if they haven't passed a single day for the age of the pages. All of the ink is just as clear as the day it was written, and it looks like the years of abandonment and emptiness have not even touched the ink on these pages.
Does the Club of Forgotten Knowledge have any words in it now that we're in here? Does it look any different? Or is it still the same?
You could do a visual inspection of it.
Yeah, let me take a look, just since that's there.
Theo's going to check out some of these books that are on the ground and see what they're all about.
I will release you now, but stay in this room.
Is that going to be a perception check?
Yeah, perception check.
That's a 27. That is a nat 20. So 27.
All right. So you notice the book that you've been carrying, the Club of Forgotten Knowledge, if you will. After the impacts on the rats and the carrying it around, it's starting to wear out and it's starting to show like the binding starting to come apart a little bit. It's not in the best of shape.
Right. But nothing has like reappeared or anything like that. Like it doesn't seem to be preserved or improved by entering this room.
Nope.
Okay. Before we go any further, I would like to cast guidance on Theo.
That seems being singled out over here.
Because I expect you to, like, do the majority of the work.
That's fair.
Also, we're not sure if you are able to read.
I'm pretty sure he knows more languages than the both of y'all.
He knows how to speak them, but does he know how to read them?
Yes. I guarantee you, yes.
Alright, and if anybody wishes to put up a torch or put up a light, we can do that as well.
I am a light. That's why there's a little extra light in the room.
So Theo, you get a +1 stat bonus to attack rolls, perception checks, saving throws, or skill checks for the next hour.
You got that light radius correct, it looks like?
20 feet of bright, 20 feet of dim after that.
Okay.
So,
I light up a room.
These
That's actually
books.
only this then.
Theo's going to check out some of these books on the ground.
Okay.
That just perception,
Do you pick up anything that's in particular?
or he's gonna pick them up and read them, see what just read the titles, see what they are. what the different books are. A couple of
Okay.
them.
So, just a couple books you'd pick up from. It looks like there's a robe that had this pile of books that was moving through this room with. And the books you pick up, you notice in. So, the first book you pick up, you can't read the title. It's this really beautiful. It looks like it's probably a silver. It's almost like a silver metal that's in the cover for the lettering on the cover. But you can't read the letters. They're a language you do not know. The next book behind it is another book with that same sort of silvery letter, but it's in Gnomish. And it says, the title of that book is The History of Necromancy.
Whoa. Hey, magic friends. Close to all three of them. So this book here is about necromancy. And I have no idea what this one is at all. It's like a super pretty writing. I don't know how to read that.
I'll take a look and see if I recognize the pretty writing. I don't think I will.
The pretty writing, you do not.
Okay.
I would like to ask Nunya if the pretty writing is something that he can read.
He's talking to his
All
invisible friend again.
So you
Imaginary,
go to
not
ask
invisible.
Nunya a question, and you realize you can't hear him. It almost sounds like there's some kind of like if you ever talk to somebody where there's interference, where it's like this. It sounds like he's very muffled in your head. You don't really understand what he's saying.
It's the adult from Charlie Brown.
Tuesday. I'm getting like every fifth word.
Yeah, basically what you can understand is it's a title that's in Draconic. And it's you hear illusions, pack of, and then enchantments.
Well, this is going in the bag, so this is for later reading.
Not all necromancy's bad. I'll take that book.
Hold on a second. So Theo's gonna look for a book that doesn't look like it's super, like it's super rare. Something like common based.
Foraging.
So
for
in
dummies.
this,
Just like something ridiculously simple. Not necessarily this like ridiculous history tome or magic book or anything. Just something simple that looks simple.
so the books in this room, nothing would come into that ballpark of being a simple book.
Not even.
They're all these heavy tomes with this like either metal or some kind of shiny fabric lettering.
Let me say this. Does he find any duplicate books?
Give me a well, no. Let's do that as a Arcana. See if you can recognize any similar things and themes with the books, because they're all magical texts.
I have no idea what that was.
That is a 9. So I would say, kind of glancing over them, you don't. The only thing you really recognize is like a common trend with some of these books is the languages. They're either languages you don't read, or there's Gnomish. There's one you can recognize as Elvish, but it's not. You don't speak it, you don't read it, so you can't make out what it says. Like it just seems like there's those, and there's that same one that you gave to Guy. Like there's 5 languages present in the books in this room.
He's just gonna grab one that doesn't seem super important, walk over to the door, and toss it out the door. He wants to see what happens.
So, you toss it at the door. And how hard do you toss this out the door?
Kind of like you would when you toss it onto a bed. You just kind of toss it. He just tosses it out the door. See what happens once it exits the room.
Boom.
Okay.
The whole tower
So-
collapses.
It hits the threshold of the door, stops in midair and kind of spins around, and then I'm going to need a reflex from you and Doric.
You pissed off the ghost librarian.
It's a 19.
23.
So
Both prepared.
you see this
Neo
book kind
that
of spinning.
shit.
You see this book kind of spinning around in the doorway, and you, Theo, you think it's probably smart to step aside, and you step aside, and then Doric sees this as well and kind of recognizes the same thing, steps aside, and this book flies back into the room and ends up about 20 feet into the room.
Is it back where he picked it up from, or just like straight, like it just got thrown back in?
It got thrown 20 feet back into the room.
So not back to a home, if you will.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I guess we won't be taking any of those this time.
Yeah, guy, I'd leave that book here.
What's our elf friend doing? Just like standing in the corner?
He's kind of standing there looking around, kind of recognize some of the different things. He's kind of taking it all in this whole place, and as the book comes flying back in, he'll kind of turn with a little bit of a start. And he's like, that's probably because the runes are still in place, and the protections, so you probably can't take any of the knowledge out of here.
That's fair.
It is forbidden knowledge.
It was
Not a
either.
bad idea.
It was one of two things that were going to happen. Either it was going to not leave the room, or it was going to leave the room and immediately turn to dust. Those were my theories there.
Well, the third option would be that it just falls on the floor and is really loud.
Magic's involved. I don't think that's going to happen.
I tend to follow my gut. My gut didn't say that was an option.
All right, so in this room, there are two doors. There's one door in the middle of the light fixtures. There's on the left-hand side of the room. There's a door there in between the light fixtures. Then there's a door at the end of the lights as well. Then there are two doors on the far wall on either side of what looks like a very large fireplace. On the right side, directly in line with the door on the left that's above the light fixtures, there's another door there. And there's also a door in the middle of the fixtures.
Any of them look more used than the others?
So the door on the right that is between the light fixtures will have, it looks like the most frequent signs of being opened, and then the door over here on the other side of the light fixtures also looks like it's been opened a lot. It's more of a heavier, it looks like a heavier duty, nicer door. So those two doors look like they've been opened the most, just from wear on the door itself.
So, what we're looking for is probably at the top, right? You ask the elf.
That's what I understand, at least, is at the top, but there might be other things inside here that would be interesting to find and discover.
Let's see. So this is some kind of magic tower. Big, heavy doors. Nicely used. Probably hallways or access rooms to other parts of the building. We should try the areas that aren't heavily maintained.
Eeny, meeny, miny. This one.
Stacks up behind
Lead
them.
the way.
I don't know how to open
So you go
doors.
to you go try to open that door.
Yeah.
Hang on. I don't want to stand directly behind him.
I'm going to crouch down so if anything aims high, it's hitting somebody
I
behind
mean,
me.
Theo's got his shield, so it's fine.
So you go to open that door, and the handle just kind of jostles. The door is locked.
I ask
Kick
the
it
door
in.
nicely.
Kick it in,
I-
little man.
I ask the door nicely to open. Now, if you could just kindly open up.
The door does not seem moved by your.
It's locked.
No manners. Hey,
Please.
well, I heard Magic Tower and I thought it was worth a shot.
I'm assuming no one here knows how to pick locks.
Do I know how to pick locks?
I don't know
No.
you.
I do not. I can heal you, but I cannot
What would that
for the
be?
key.
Do you need a specific proficiency, or would it just be like thievery or?
I mean, a thievery, if you have the lore for that. Sleight of hand, you can maybe try to do something if you had tools to do it with.
Sleight of hand is not
I
a
have
check.
my jeweler's tools.
That's right, it's thievery now. I just saw it there.
I have my jeweler's tools. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick a lock with that.
You do not have the correct tools.
No.
Could I?
Bash it open. No.
Could I? Wait. Hold on. Could I potentially roll a performance check to pretend like I know how to pick a lock and see if I get lucky?
I mean, you can always try.
$15.
You broke a nail.
It's alright. It just means I'm doing hard work.
That one's locked. Theo's going to try one of these ones next to the
I'm not
fireplace.
moving. I'm good where I am.
So you try that one next to
Yeah.
the fireplace. So you can should be able to click and open. And it opens into a hallway that's also still dark.
Hey, is there anything notable on this fireplace? Any like weird carvings or anything like that?
So there are carvings in the fireplace. It looks like runic characters, almost like hieroglyphic type characters. You could definitely try to investigate
I
them.
would love to try and read them real quick, just in case.
So I will say you cannot read them,
Okay.
but they are a runic character. So they're a character, not really words.
So are they magical in that instance?
I don't know. You could try to detect magic.
I've got a cantrip that's read aura that I'm wondering if this would apply to it. You focus on a target object, opening your mind to perceive magical auras. When your casting is complete, you know whether the item is magical, and if it is, you also learn the school of magic. Could
Okay.
that apply to that?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a cantrip. I cast it. And it doesn't have like a space or anything like that. The only caveat it says is if the object is illusionary, you can only detect that it's an illusion.
Okay. So the letterings are illusions.
Okay. So they're just there for looks. Okay. But still have no
Yeah.
idea what it says. That's interesting. Okay. That was all. Lead on. Go for it.
So yeah, the door that you opened, like I said, it looks like it's a hallway. There's once again more symbols of like stuff that was just abandoned as they were walking through this hallway. Bundles of clothing, but now you start seeing bundles that are not necessarily robes and like the stuff that you would typically see wizards or other magic users wearing. A lot of these bundles now are like plain clothes.
Well then, let's see what all other doors are open before we go this way. I'm gonna try this other door next to the other fireplace, on the other side of the fireplace.
Yep, that should be able to open.
Post up behind him because I'm light.
So when you
Still
open that
awesome.
door, when you open that door, you are just blasted by the light outside.
Oh, that's out. Courtyard? No, outside.
It's like a little outside courtyard, and inside this courtyard area, there are different trees and plants. There looks like there's a path that runs through, but these plants are just incredibly overgrown. There's a bunch of these berries that look like they're coming over the path, and there's these vines that are breaking some of the stones in the path and working their way underneath of them. One of the trees has actually been knocked over by a component type plant, where the heavy thistle of this plant has actually grown, so it pushed that tree over, so it's at like a 45-degree over the path itself, kind of leaning up against the side of the spire.
All right, so we got a hallway. Looks like a courtyard garden.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try that one, guy?
Yeah.
I'm going to try the last door on the top here.
The direct line.
Oh,
Oh, it opens.
okay.
So you open that door, and there is a library. You just see rows upon rows of shelves, floor to ceiling. The ceiling looks like the ceiling is higher than where your light can go. So it's just super, super tall ceiling library.
Wow.
And the difference in this room is instead of just bundles of clothes and books and different refuse, now inside those bundles are collections of bones.
Wow.
What the fuck happened here?
Don't think
Magic.
anybody's been here for quite a while.
All right, so I've seen a few doors in the other areas. We got 2 doors left to check.
All right. Well,
We'll go right side, middle door.
I found
Yeah.
some beds.
So that door opens up, and in here, there's a bunch of beds and a table in the middle. You can see that it looks like there are 12 beds. As well as you can see the couple right there in your light source, but Dora can see further across. And how far can you see into that room, Doric? See real fast. Okay, you can see all the way across.
Yeah.
So in the beds at the far corner, it looks like there's this window with bars in it that looks outside, but once again, the light from outside doesn't seem to penetrate into the room. And in the beds in the corners, you actually can see some of those plainclothes skeletons almost look like they died and were turned into skeletons in their sleep, as they are on the bed as if they were asleep.
I don't trust all these bones, lads.
We did find a book about necromancy,
What is that?
and there are a bunch of
What
bones.
is that?
Not all necromancy's bad.
Dormitory?
Yeah, it's a sleeping room. Is there anything on the table from where I can see?
You can just barely see the table, so you'd have to get closer.
Can I tell? If I peek over his shoulder.
So you would see on the table, it looks like there are some. There's like a big pitcher, some plates, different other little items. Looks like there's actually, from where you stand, there actually is some food on the table.
I did not eat that.
It actually looks like it's fresh as if it was cooked today.
That's weird.
Yes.
We got one last door to check out here, and then we got to decide which rooms we're going to check out first.
Once again, not standing directly
He's
behind.
going to go to
The
the last door that needs to be opened.
Okay. You open the door, and there are, in this room, there are a couple tables. The chairs are long since destroyed and degraded. And once again, a couple more bones. There's different cups, and there's actually a set of playing cards at one of these tables, and there's a bar. Behind the bar is an orc skeleton that is still standing as if he's wiping the bar.
Yo.
And all these lights in the ceiling kind of flicker as if they're torchlight, but you don't see any kind of torch or anything. It's like this magical light that flickers above the table.
So really, the only rooms we didn't see bones were the hallway and the library and the courtyard.
And the
Well, we saw
outside.
bones in the library.
Yes.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, library was full of bones.
Okay, so the courtyard and the clothes, or the hallway were the only.
Alright.
Yep.
Start with the dormitory. Check out what's going on there.
All right. Well, hold on a second. I'm gonna enter the dormitory slowly and grab one of the cups.
So as you get that close to the the table there,
Uh-huh.
in the corner bed right over here, you notice that the skeleton,
Yeah.
as it's laying in the bed, your light source has this glint off of a metal object that looks like it's around the ankle of the skeleton.
We'll investigate that later. First, cup or pitcher.
So yeah, Yeah, pitcher. Yep.
I'm giving it the book treatment. Yeet.
I wouldn't do that.
And then,
So you throw it. You throw it from that far away, so you've chucked this.
No.
You
Like,
already said you threw it back there.
yeet.
So you chucked this thing.
And then quickly sidestep.
Get back there. So you need to roll a reflex save as this thing starts spinning much faster than the book was.
Told you that was a bad idea. Disadvantage.
A reflex save.
Yeah,
Reflex
it's
save.
under perception.
All right, so your 7 is not good enough as this pitcher comes flying back at you. It comes flying back at you about 10 times the speed you threw it.
Wow.
And it nails you in the chest. The clay pitcher shatters, pouring this couple thousand-year-old wine all over the front of you.
Now the question is it actually a couple thousand years old? Or is it fresh and it's technically 1,000 years old?
Wouldn't it be vinegar at that point?
No, it's perfectly preserved wine.
Yeah, so is it aged or is it just like somebody poured it yesterday?
It's weirdly cold.
I don't know how you're
all I
supposed to
can
drink
give you on
wine
that.
as a player.
But you also take some damage from that. So
That's
this thing
fair.
comes flying back and nails you.
How much?
And I'm going to roll a die here.
Oh, be kind. Rewind.
No. I will never be kind. You cannot make me be kind.
One of these days your heart will go 3 sizes. You'll probably have to go to the hospital.
There's a joke in there I'm not going to touch. So you're going to take 1 damage.
With a 10.5
as
foot
this-
pole?
Yes. You're going to take 1 damage as this clay pitcher smashes into you and all of your chest.
I'm a picture of perfect health.
Not anymore. You got one
Theo,
day.
now that the dumbassery is over, Theo is going to move into the dormitory.
I'll follow. Do all of the skeletons have the little shiny anklet? Or just-
Yes, as you step in, all the skeletons that are they're still on the beds, and they're just on the 3 beds in the corner. That's the only spot where there are skeletons still remaining in the beds. They all have these metal bands on their ankles and their wrist, and they also have some on their around their necks.
Can I look out the window? I assume that's a window. that I'm
Yes,
at.
it's like bars.
Is it just like
So
regular outside world, like where we came from?
yeah, so you look out the window, and it is exactly the same time as if you walked in. The light is there. The light outside the window is there. The outside is exactly as you left it, but none of that light or any of the heat or anything from outside makes it through this open window.
Where's our elf friend at this time? Is he still just chilling?
He's with you. I just didn't have him
Oh, okay.
selected.
All right, just make sure.
Alright, so these metal bits. Theo's going to investigate them. He's decent with jewelry, so he's going to investigate these things.
All right, so on the metal bits there, give me your check with your. Let's see, you have a thing for that. You do not have a thing
It's
for that.
crafting.
Oh, it's right there. I thought it was in the lore skill area. So yeah, roll a crafting, please.
Haha, dirty 20.
All right. So as you look at this crafting, you notice that the metal seems to have like this filigree design that all flows to a centerpiece on the metal, and then that centerpiece of that metal is a green stone. And that's what it is on every single one of these little bindings is a little green stone, as all this filigree sort of goes directly to it around the band.
Look, the last thing I took off the skeleton didn't end up being that bad. I think it's okay.
Yeah, we still can't take anything out of here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this place is kind of a treasure ripoff. We're going to have to figure that out if we want to take the relic out of here. Probably.
I get the feeling the relic's probably powering the magic.
Were there any markings or anything on the door that was locked? Like,
No, there was no markings on that door.
So,
But while you guys are investigating these skeletons over here, you can give me a. If you want to look them over, you can search. You can search them to see if there's anything on them.
Sure.
I know Theo is going to take at least this jewelry off of one of the skeletons, so he can test a theory for when they finally shut the magic down.
Okay.
And he's just going to put them in his one of his pouches.
I'll take a closer look at one of the skeletons and see if there's any like signs of why it might have the person might have passed away or anything like that. Are they all human skeletons?
No. So these three here. Excuse me. One is a human.
Okay.
One is a orc, and the last one is a halfling size.
I'll check the halflings. I'll inspect the halfling.
Alright, so we got a bunch of windows.
I feel like that this could have been a prison.
Looks more like a dormitory.
I don't know.
8 on checking the halfling.
There's bars on the windows.
That's not just an 8, my friend.
That's a natural 8.
That's a nat 1, actually. Yeah, nat 1 with a +7.
All right, so you look over this thing. I was actually going to tell you to do a medicine, but it's the same modifier, so it's no difference here.
The same thing. Yeah.
So, looking over the skeleton, you do not see any kind of wounds. There's no entry marks. There's no scratch on the bone. These bones actually look like... It almost looks as if you took... It's almost as if you took a skeleton, made a model of a skeleton. That's how clean the bones are.
Can I? So if I were to sniff it, it would be just bone. It's not going to be like decay.
Yeah, it's just bone.
Okay.
There's no smell at all of death. It's just bones.
Right, so the far right wall, is that a window or a door?
That is a window right there.
Okay.
Yeah, there are in this... that shouldn't be right. So in this room, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 windows that are all barred in this room with the single door that you entered through.
Alright, so...
What all food did you say was on the table?
So it looks like there's like a soup, there's a salad, and then there's like a bowl of this porridge.
Okay, no, never mind. If there was an apple or something, I was going to swing a bite, but never mind.
I dare you to eat, take a bite, and then try to go outside.
Theo walks
Do you think
away.
it'd be safe?
Theo just walks away.
I walk back to the porridge and pick up a spoon.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it'll be safe, but I think it'll be funny.
So you pick up a spoon of the porridge. As you go to put it in your mouth, like as it gets to where your breath touches the spoon of the porridge, the porridge and the spoon just turn to dust and fall to the floor at your feet.
Well, that's why these guys died. They couldn't eat anything. Throw the
That's
spoon down and walk away.
That is some Tantalus level of awful.
Alright, so
I'll walk out of their room frustrated.
Theo's going to go check out the library.
I'll follow behind him.
I was going to check the corpses for...
Okay, the elf will stick with...
Split the
guy
party.
then.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, split the party. Not the battle happen.
Listen, I'm just...
So you're going to check the corpses
just real
there,
quick,
guy?
and then I'm going to go follow the rest of the party.
I'll stick
Okay,
with
so
Theo.
you go ahead and search the corpses real fast.
What is that?
We will do a... Perception seems the easiest, but let me double check some real fast. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong thing. Wrong thing. Go here to your skills. Proficiency, sorry. Yeah, so perception is going to be the best thing to do, or you could do like a medicine to try to see if you can notice anything that would have killed them.
I can do both. I'll do what killed them first, and then try to loot them. Except if I think it's contagious, I'm not touching them. Or
All right.
Doric, because he touched them.
That's fair.
10.
Okay.
I'm not in
so
a good time zone, I guess.
With a 10, you do not notice anything out of the ordinary on the skeletons. Like I said, they are almost as if it's almost suspiciously clean how clean the bones are. With the 19, as you kind of root through the pockets and kind of root through the clothing that's on the bed and that sort of covers itself, you feel something metallic in your hand. Like this very cold metal brushes against your hand as you're kind of rummaging through the skeleton.
What is this metal? Like cold bad touch, or
just as if a piece of metal has been sitting out in a cold room for a very long time, how it's just cold to the touch.
Okay. What's this metal?
So you pull it out and it's a ring of keys.
Hell yeah. I am the key master. I'm shining bright like a diamond, and I've got the keys.
Oh, jeez.
I had to do it. You love puns, don't lie.
It's not even a good pun. Like, they're not good puns.
It's on par with a dad joke. It's not good.
At least do good puns.
It made somebody groan. That qualifies it as a dad joke.
Alright, so
they went to the library, so
we're checking out the library.
Eli will follow into the library. And he's just kind of looking around. He's actually going to go to one of these groups of books, and he's looking at this bookshelf.
Do I see any dwarven tomes, like bindings, like the?
So actually, since you asked about that, you would kind of see. So as you step in here, because your vision is further and you can see more.
Mm-hmm.
You would see that across on the far side of the room there's like a shelf over this part of the room that has up near the ceiling. There's these very similar sort of illusionary lettering that says Dwarven section above the shelves. It's similar sort of illusionary lettering as the fireplace, but it's really high up.
Well, that's just mean.
Part of me wishes everything here was labeled, like chair, table.
Theo's gonna check.
And actually, so the funny thing about that everything being labeled situation, so as you look around now, Doric, you notice that there are, across all the shelves in this room, there is the native language of the section. It's written what the section is in that language.
I found my books, y'all. Look for yours.
So you notice there's a section that's the Dwarven. It's a bunch of books that are in the Dwarven language. There's where the elf went. You don't recognize the you probably don't recognize the wording, but you recognize the writing as being Elven.
Right.
But it's higher up than what the others can see. So
Hey,
Even Theo, because he's kind of taller than me.
this room, I mean, so
Oh wait, it's dark. Got it.
Theo
Yeah,
has
it's
a-
very dark.
has a
And
torch.
Guy,
oh,
Gotcha.
if you have a torch, we can turn the torch on so you
Yeah,
can
I
see.
can.
But I don't think a torch has enough room, does it?
It's 20 by 20.
So 20 by 20? No, you don't have enough light. So this room is,
You'll just hear me scuttle across the room to like the dwarven area, like not really even telling you. You just hear me running across the room to that area.
so this room is obscenely tall. So floor to ceiling, and it's all shelves all the way up. This room's 100 feet tall.
Holy crap!
how
So this room is obscenely tall. And that's where all the lettering's way up at the top.
how high you think he could throw this rock?
About as far as you.
Theo is going to be checking out these bodies. He doesn't really care about the book so much as he does about the dead bodies and the books that they were reading.
Do the windows have bars over them in this room too?
No, the windows in this room are actually glass.
That is not what I wanted to hear.
Hey,
What were you wanting to hear?
I wanted to hear the bars because I was going to try to slide a book out of it.
Oh.
Oh, hey, by the way, I found some keys.
Good. Let's just check the other.
Are there any other additional doors, or are these all windows?
So yes, there are doors in this room. So right next to where you are standing, Doric, there is a door at the top corner of that wall.
Okay.
Oops, I didn't want to do that.
Alright, keep that in mind.
Go away. I didn't mean to hit that. So yeah, there's a door over here, and if you try to open it, it's locked. There's a door over here, and then the other openings here are windows.
I would like to knock on the door.
Give me a perception.
So this is how it ends.
Nice. So
Dirty 20.
you knock on the door. There is no sound of knocking that comes back,
Oh, thank
God.
goodness.
but
Hello?
as you knock, you hear a very, very, very faint buzzing sound that almost has that same pattern. Like as you do the knock, the way you knocked, it kind of buzzes back in that same pattern before going back to a very faint buzzing
So
sound.
if
on the
I
other side
was
of
to
the door.
do shave and a haircut, it's going to buzz back the 2 bits, or like the ...
Maybe
Yeah, you could try it.
Okay, I'll knock that.
Doric's
I'll
gonna
knock
So-
shave and a haircut.
It knocks back the shave and haircut.
Okay.
It repeats what you knocked.
Doric,
Okay, so it's not. Okay, gotcha. I was looking for intelligence.
Doric over there messing with the B door.
Guy, you said you found some keys. Come see what you can do.
One second. Is there a halfling section?
You have to look around.
Do I see a halfling section?
Is there?
If he tells you
Oh, yeah,
kind of like
that's
what
true.
the wording is, would be because I don't think you would know halfling.
I'm
That's
looking
true.
for blah blah blah. That is clearly the language.
So you can do a perception check to try to find books that have halfling on them as you kind of walk around,
Uh-huh.
but you're not gonna be able to see the illusionary writing.
Are halflings not? Do they not just speak common? They have like the whole halfling.
We have
language?
common. I'll look for a common or a halfling, but I'm looking for, because I'm wondering if all of these books are just duplicates in different languages. So you know that book I found that had the word illusion and magic and group of. I want to see if I can find that in a language I can read.
So yeah, you can do that. So give me your
I'm
perception.
not going to roll well, but I will do my best.
Yeah. And yes, Ograd, the halflings do have their own language.
So anything suspicious about these bodies or the books they were reading?
So the books are kind of the same as the previous books. They all seem to be like magical theory books. You'll dig around for a while there, guy. You'll eventually find it, but it's going to take you a while kind of perusing the shelves and looking around. And
It's just out of
You're
reach.
not-
I had to get another book to reach it.
you haven't seen like a pattern for how the different languages are broken up amongst the shelves. So it's going to take you a while to kind of figure it out. You're still trying to figure out the Dewey Decimal System.
Some dingus put the halfling copy of the book 5 shelves up.
And then, so you were asking about what again? Sorry.
The bodies and the books the bodies were reading. Like, they're all sitting at desk tables, right? Like you would in the library.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to investigate that because that seems more important than just the random books still on the shelves.
Valid point. I was just excited to see Dwarven. I know what it says.
I do too.
But yeah, so
feel
as you guys
smart.
find the different books in your sections, you'll notice that primarily the books there's a lot of necromancy, there's a lot of illusionary magic, there's some that are on enchantments. But the ones that you spot as you're looking around the different desks, Theo, you have a gnomish, orcish, dwarven, and commons. Let's see.
I have some fun languages.
Let's see if one of those languages are
I
what
have
pop
the
up.
grunt languages.
Okay. So as you're looking around at these different piles of books on these desks and kind of looking at the skeletons, trying to figure out what might have been at one time, you would notice there is a book in Orcish. It's the first one that you've been able to read.
Oh, interesting.
It's the first. Well, I guess it's the first Orcish book you've seen so far.
That's not something we find very
in this
often.
in this book, it's currently open. It's currently open to a page, and on this page, it talks about linking planal magic. So it's incredibly high-level magical theory.
You know, I know a lot of orcs. And I don't think I've ever met an orc spellcaster that could do shit like that. You know, basic fire, maybe. Probably some ice armor, if that. Planal gateways? I don't know if that's possible.
It's not planal gateways, but it talks about planal. It's like talking about planal magic. It's like I said, it's incredibly high level.
He saw
theory
planar magical theory, and he immediately thinks planal gateways.
Oh, that's not at all what I heard. What I heard was plain old magic, and I was like, "What does plain old magic look like?" Like, does it?
It's a lot simpler than the new school magic.
It's called sparkly fingers.
I was gonna say, does it flatten out wood?
It also wears cargo pants a lot.
And it.
I know.
So
It
the
flies.
body's sitting at that particular.
Those are coming back in style.
I know. I'm so
The
happy.
body's sitting at that particular desk. He's investigating it. Like 100%. You want to
So yeah,
check
the
it
body's sitting. So the body's sitting at that desk. It has sort of the silhouette of a human, but as you kind of investigate further, you notice that there are 2 tusks out of its jaw. So it's probably a half orc of some level.
All right, an orc over here. He's just kind of like, good on you, buddy. And starts heading towards the others.
Oh, hey. So I did finally get the book. What kind of book could be it?
So you just kind of grab a random book off the shelf?
No. I was looking for a copy of the book I found that I could read.
Oh, that illusionary
Yeah.
book thing.
If I get free magic ideas, heck yeah.
So the book you find, and you find the one that's the halfling language. It's illusionary magic and its group of tricks.
I will put the copy I found first on like a table, and then put that one in my bag to read later before we leave.
So as you swap them out, you put that one on the table, and then you put the other book in your pouch. You actually, as you set the book down, you put the new one in a pouch. The original book that you had before will kind of levitate off the table, and it flies to the bookshelf it belongs to.
Oh no, that was cool.
Alright, well, what if there's some sort of secret for putting all the books back? Also, hey Doric.
Yeah.
You remember that fancy club I found you? That forgotten weapon?
Yeah.
You think maybe there's a copy of whatever that used to be here?
I'll pull it out and see if we can make out a title on it.
Well, if you remember correctly, it was a blank book that was to be written, so there is no...
Okay.
Well, I just the logic of maybe the binding matches a book that's already been written.
There's a lot of books.
Fair enough.
It would take you a very long time to find a similar book.
All right, I think we should move on. I think we're done with the books.
Yeah.
We're being nerds.
Well,
Before, do the skeletons have one of those bracelets on them again?
No, they do not.
They do not.
These skeletons have wands and like amulets, rings. None of it's magical from what you can see. Just kind of rings and amulets and robes and wands, and it looks like all the magic that would have been on these items has long since either diminished or has been pulled away.
I'm gonna poke the bear. I want to put my finger like on one of the skeleton's foreheads and like just give it a little push back and see if it just falls over and what happens.
So if you do that, and the head just falls off the neck and rolls down the back of the skeleton.
Hey,
cool. So it didn't come back to life. That's good.
Hey, that was rude.
Quit fucking with stuff. You're on your own this time. I'm not going to save you again.
I waited till after you checked it.
Alright, you said there's a door up here?
Yeah.
There's a door down here too. There's a few
That's
of
a
them
window.
here. Oh, that's a window? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's a glass window.
Right.
Was there anything different out of that?
Nope, same thing as the barred windows. It's glass instead of
Wait,
bars.
do we want to check this door, or do we want to check the big, heavy, fancy door that was locked before?
This door buzzed.
Let's check this one since we're already here.
Wait, this door buzzed?
Yep, I'm gonna step back. What the hell did I just do?
Like, what kind of
Go
buzz?
for it, guy.
It mimicked... I don't know. I wasn't here.
When I knocked on it, it did
Hey.
the knock back.
Hey, DM. This buzzing. Could I
Yes.
roll farming to see if that there be bees?
I was confused for a second. Then you finished with your sentence. Like, okay, I understand what you're saying now.
Yes.
I knew where he
Yes, you
was
can.
going. That's what's bad. Oh my god.
13.
Yeah, it's not bees.
It's not bees. Hey, you know what? I'm proud of myself. How often am I going to get to roll farming?
Valid point. Alright. You got this. Takes a step back.
I just want you to know that if you if
Back
your
further.
buzz door kills me, I'm haunting you.
I'm going to ready my bow. Not bow. What do I have? I have a distance weapon. Hang on. What is it? My hand crossbow. I'm gonna.
You have a hand crossbow? Okay.
Yeah, that's my distance weapon.
It's a good thing I'm short. You shoot right over me.
He's
Yeah, I
short
would like
too.
to ready that just in case.
He's like a foot and a half taller than me.
Just in case there's anything malevolent that comes out of there. I want it ready and like pointed at it, like around Theo, kind of like I'm hiding behind him, but like the arm is sticking around him. So I'm not really sure. Like I'm using him for cover, basically.
Is he half cover?
In this situation, yes.
If I stood in front of Doric, would I be also half cover?
Depends on the situation.
Open the door.
I open the door.
So you try the key, and the first key doesn't work. Second key doesn't work. As you keep trying keys, none of the keys work in that lock.
Okay.
Well, that's disappointing.
All right, let's go to. I vote
Okay.
fancy door. I bet there's treasure. Not that we can keep it, but
Are those and the rest of them are windows? There's no other additional doors.
There is one other door right where you're standing.
I would like to knock on that door also. Hello.
Sure.
Knock, knock, knock.
No response.
I'll try to open it.
Go ahead.
I don't like this. Oh, this is a bad idea. Oh,
So you open
Hey,
the
it's the
door.
courtyard.
You're blessed by the bright light of the courtyard in the.
hey,
stars.
Doric.
hey! It's the courtyard. I'm gonna walk into the courtyard.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through the courtyard to meet them. Back in the main hall.
So yeah, do you have any kind of? I don't know if you have any kind of skill that would be good for that.
Walking?
No, like I was trying to see for like the plants and everything around there.
Oh,
Like, do you have any
wait!
kind
Oh
of,
my
like,
God!
what-
Do I get to use it twice in one session? Can I
You're
roll
gonna come this
farming?
way. I mean, I'll do a nature check. How about a nature check?
Sure. It's not exactly what it's for, but sure.
Oh. So, okay, survive. Oh, I don't like the idea. How about survival instead? Actually, it doesn't
survival
matter.
would be to like check if anything's edible and stuff like that. I guess nature would be like possibly what sort of things these are.
Hey,
Okay,
guy,
I'll do a nature.
There's some plants and stuff here. We'll check it out.
Plants. I
Yeah,
wonder
12.
if there's any potatoes.
12.
A 12.
12. So, you would recognize. I need to pull something up real fast. I just want to pull up a thing.
Well, it does work. Walls actually work. You can't go through them.
Yes.
Yeah. I did that.
Alright. So what'd you guys find?
I was gonna try to
rolled
find,
a 12, so...
I was gonna try to find like a specific spell, but I'm not having much luck on that. So the stuff you're looking at, you kind of pick up a lot of this is like they're either components for magic, or there's actually you recognize one of the things there. There's a herb on your left that is something you would use to make like healing potions. But with the state of its overgrowth, it's probably no longer useful because it's just been growing too long. It hasn't been pruned back.
Gotcha.
So it's like this is a garden that's just full of different plants you would use as different components.
It's a component garden. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna note that and then skedaddle into the main hall with them. Guys, there's a whole bunch of like magic plants out there. Not to like suppress your magic thing, but like to make stuff. But it's kind of wild and crazy, overgrown.
As Guy is very sad that he can't use his farming check. He's like, I can do farming. Aww.
Well, I also have foraging as a feat, so
Yeah, it's the stuff in the component garden has been overgrown too
Farmer.
long, so it's no longer useful.
The locked door farmer. Let's go.
all right. No potatoes, no nothing. I click my tongue and I shake my head.
What did I do?
Which one was?
What are you doing? For those of you listening, Margaret has broke his token on the virtual tabletop again.
It's not technically broken. It's just canted weird again.
Doric
You
is
keep
suffering
rotating
from
yourself.
some
I
wild
don't know
magic.
how I'm doing that.
I believe it's what is it? I think it's
It's like control and then the keyboard, I think. Nope.
It's
you can if you hit shift into your arrow keys, you can rotate 90 degrees. That's fun.
Woo! Dance party.
It looks like we're doing a Batman transition.
Okay, please go back to normal positions. Continue on.
I open the locked door. Actually, I knock on the door first for any buzzing.
Knock on the door for buzzing. You
Shouldn't
hear
we hit the bar before we go this way? Or the
he wants
hallway?
to check
I don't
the
know.
locked door, so it's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do it. Rock and roll.
So you knock on the door. You do not hear any buzzing.
Do I hear anything?
No, it's a pretty hefty door from what it kind of feels like. It's a pretty heavy wood, so it's probably insulated of some sort.
I will unlock the door and then have Theo open it. Go ahead, big guy.
Did the keys work?
Yeah, the door unlocks. You hear a click.
All right.
I love how we're just hiding behind Theo every time.
That's what he's for.
Well, I can
know.
I can share a square with you.
So Theo,
Are you riding
Step
on his
into the
back?
room.
Piggyback
step
ride.
into the room, Theo. So you see as you step into the room,
Ah!
There's a collection of vases, vases, etc. Bless you. Directly down below, as soon as you walk in, they appear to have some kind of liquid in them. There are barrels on your other side heading up the wall, and there's a collection of boxes, and the room is very dark. However, you see something moving over on this side of the room.
This is why we're sending him in first.
Before he steps any further into this room, how does it smell in here? You got open liquid in here. 2,000-year-old
So, another thing in here is it's also very cold.
Very cold.
Very cold.
It's like the storeroom for the bar.
He's going to call out behind him. I've got movement. Get on your toes.
And when you call out, this thing is going to...
Well,
it hears you, and you see it kind of poke its way around the vase in the box. There is...
It could be a friend. It's probably not a friend.
So it is this just gross, brownish, blackish colored ooze. And floating in the surface of the ooze is a bunch of little bits of like food that it was in a little bits of wood. So it was clearly inside the box in the corner, pulling stuff out of that box.
Can I just say that I almost thought of having Guy, when told that we have movement in here, just close the door and lock it again.
I think so. This thing was eating like bits of food and stuff, right?
Correct.
Theo's gonna throw a couple of his rations on the floor and says, "Don't worry, little guy. Go about your business." And just step back out of the room.
So before you can do that action,
because black oozes are not fun.
It's not really a black ooze, but this ooze will undulate and move in kind of like the way. My brain instantly went to flubber when it does like that, where it spreads way out.
Yeah,
it does that, and it will it'll whatever you're guessing is its face will turn towards you, and that is where we are going to have to end.
Oh boy.
Danger close.
Danger.
I mean,
No, not danger. That's a slime of some sort.
at least it's not a gelatinous cube.
I mean, Slimer was not a bad ghost today.
Slimer wasn't a slime, okay?
Isn't he a class 4 semi-corporeal vapor or something like that?
No, he was ectoplasma.
I'm actually going to, right before we end, though, please give initiative rolls.
Oh,
No.
joy.
How do you do that again?
It is similar. It's right below
Is it
perception.
over there by perception?
Yes.
Okay.
And I got... What did I get?
I got a 22.
I got a 10.
How? I got a 10. I got a 20.
I'm fast as heck. I close the door. Ew.
That doesn't even make sense.
What do you mean it doesn't even make sense? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you see...
Probably because the reason your initiative is so slow is because Guy is piggyback on you.
To be
Going
fair,
through the doorway.
Theo's not going to run from this thing. He just knows not to fight it by himself.
I'm thinking this thing was once a pet for waste disposal, and it's the only thing left alive in this building.
All right.
I want to pet it. No, I really don't.
All right, so do your things.
Things. Which,
You know, the Discord, the rate review, the things.
Jake, you said you
So,
wanted to.
if you, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
if you want to come over and tell us what you think this gelatinous black mass could possibly be, come see us. Visit us on Discord. Most of the time, we're on there. Somebody, check in with us. Tell us how you're doing. We talk about all kinds of stuff from video games to TV shows, memes, all that kind of stuff. Come in, check in, say hey.
I mean, on the video game front, I am currently playing a RimWorld save with all my first 3 colonists are named after these yahoos, so you could possibly see all of their antics in RimWorld.
I'm apparently a gun-toting badass.
Maybe you get your name on one of the characters. Yes, your character is terrifying. He also likes to die a lot.
Yeah, that feels about right.
That's fine. What was that?
If Discord,
I didn't roll the
if
elf.
Discord really isn't your thing, we do have all the social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We don't have a TikTok. That's not really our thing. We're old.
We're too old.
We don't
Well,
TikTok.
hey, I'm still sub 30, y'all.
Listen here, youngin.
You little spring chicken.
But yeah, it's just Fate's Rest. You'll find us as soon as you type us in.
And if you have further thoughts, you can rate us 1 to 5 forbidden gelatins on any podcatcher of your choice. It's super helpful for you to do that, because the way the charts work on a lot of these things is that interactions with the viewers along with the views themselves really help drive you up the charts. So if you like it, you can rate us highly or even slightly less than highly, and that will help us get viewed by even more people, so you'll have even more people to talk about the podcast with on the Discord, Facebooks, what have yous.
And as always, we have our theme of our week. And for our theme for this week, I want to know about what sort of weird exploratory things have either you thrown at your players or have been thrown at you as a player from a GM. Like this random tower full of skeletons and random bits and bobs of clothing. What's up with that?
I regret nothing.
Or the B door. That's not a B door.
Makes me very curious.
Theo regrets nothing.
It's the darn orchestra following every horror game protagonist behind that door.
Oh man, yeah, the every horror game right there, that just never ending.
We open a door and there's a violin sting. We're like, who's there?
Yeah, you open the door and the violin just like that little what are they? Don't do that.
Or a tuba player in the rafters.
The one that won the marching.
No, I want to go
tuba
play
player
some
behind the
Luigi's
fat
Magic.
guy.
All I gotta say is
That's a good game.
anybody who plays the tuba and the rafters is a very brave individual.
Right?
I mean, they're
Not
also
a
Those,
light
those things are heavy.
they're also usually following the protagonist around while they're being chased by a masked maniac, an alien, or some sort of zomboid. They're extra brave.
I think we'll stop it there.
Yeah, and so how we like to end these things is
We love you.
we love you.
We love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.